Hi, hello, everybody, and welcome to Ace Tamers, a Digimon podcast.
The only place where we don't like Kenichi Joji here.
That guy can get out of here.
He's the worst.
He is a super nerd, though,
Makes
isn't
me
he?
sick.
I hate Ken. Anyway, I'm Tom.
I'm Aaron.
And today we have a special guest.
The most special guest that we've had so far, if I dare say.
Wow, don't dare. Today's special guest has been covering Digimon for over 3 years. His YouTube channel has 47,000 subscribers and his videos have surpassed 7.5 million views to date.
Crazy.
Stepping out into the great unknown, our guest has begun dipping his toes into the lesser-known Pokemon franchise in an effort to expand his loving community and to bridge the gap between Digimon and this often forgotten franchise. His videos that make fun speculations such as "We created Digimon Frontier's missing fusion spirits" give artists a platform with thousands of views, and his videos such as "Top 10 Missing X-Antibody Digimon" highlight places where the franchise can improve, while simultaneously showing how far it has come. Karn EX not only creates a welcoming and inclusive space for his viewers to talk about Digimon, but he does so in style. Karn's Spooktober Spectacular. What was that?
In style.
Karn's Spooktober Spectacular touches on the more macabre elements of the Digimon franchise, which are becoming increasingly more common, and regularly features content inspired by his own viewers and channel members. On Christmas Day, he surprised and treated fans to the ultimate Digimon present, a collaboration with well-known YouTuber Billiam, whose Digimon retrospectives have no doubt captured many Digimon fans' attentions. Karn, what was it like getting to collaborate with another big YouTuber that's well-known for Digimon content?
What an introduction, can I say? I think that's the nicest thing anyone's ever written about me in my life, including my parents.
Tears streaming down the
I don't know how to proceed from here. Yeah, I mean, that was great. Billiam, everyone I've collaborated with has always been super nice, but yeah, Billiam was just super up for it. Didn't really ask much of me. It was just like, hey, yeah, books, Digimon sounds great, and it's just been, yeah, it's awesome. Thank you for that intro. Oh my god. Wow.
do you want us to send you that as like a
ringtone? Can we just have that like clipped, and then I'll just put that like when our streams are starting and stuff like that, you know?
Sure. I'll send it to you after. Yeah.
Every single time that you come on in the future, if you ever do, it will only get better than that.
Ah, okay. I need the scale, like a sort of like traditional Japanese display of like the Shogun or whatever. Just like you got like the banners and everything, or else I'm not coming back on. Sorry.
Okay.
Next time I'll write it. Next time I will write it, and it'll be 10 times worse.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, he's Welsh, I guess. He's
Welsh,
alright,
and he's well tall.
I am well tall. That's something people don't know. A lot of people think I'm regular height, but I'm a freakish giant.
I assumed you were pretty tall because you were talking about the vital bracelets, and you said that they didn't fit around your wrist, and mine only just fit.
Oh my god, mine is like
Yeah, someone left a comment on that video saying, like, if I lost weight, it would fit me. And I'm like, people don't typically get fat in their wrists, right? Like, that's usually, there's a bone there. Like, sure, if it was like a necklace or something, yeah. Wrists are, like, famously not one of those places that Pudge tends to pile up.
I feel like it's either you've got thick tree trunk wrists, or you've got, like, wrists like little branches.
Right.
Yeah. Just snap. How tall are you?
I am 6'6".
That's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
An actual giant man.
Do you know, I've always wanted to be like 6'7". I've always been like, do you know how cool it would be to just be like a big guy? Like,
it's super fun until you get to like any doorway or like a bus. Or I'm planning a Japan trip last year, and I've been watching videos of like tall people in Japan, and I'm like, you know what? Maybe I'm not going to go to Japan next year.
Honestly, I come back about a month ago, and I'm like average height, and I struggled sometimes to like get around places. I was like, why do I feel like really tall? My fiance was like, if I ever lose you anywhere, I'll just look for the tallest guy there with like purple hair, and it will probably be you, and then you'll be fine. So it would be awkward, but you'd have the best time.
I'm sure I'll enjoy it regardless, but my god, the neck pain will be real.
It will. You just be walking around like.
I think it was Steve Merchant, who's 6'7", and he said that people use him as a meeting point.
Yes,
like he's just stood out.
I used to do a lot of festivals when I was a teenager, and I was like, okay, we're gonna scan the heads. There's Karn. Okay, let's go over to Karn.
So, I got a question to ask you, Karn. Because I know you did a couple of videos on these, do you still use the vital bracelets, or the VBs, or the B, or whatever they are now? I can't keep up with how many names they have.
The VB, VVBE. I sort of do. I've been, this week, because I went to America, started January, and I didn't do, I did a lot when the BE launched, and then kind of, over Christmas, let it go, and then January I was in America, and I was kind of like, could I do VB in America? I can't be bothered. So it's just kind of now, when they're getting rid of the VB lab, where I've been kind of like putting it back on and being like, I'm just letting my Digimon die at this point, but my kind of logic is if I let everything in the VB lab go, then I've kind of got a reason to start again, because right now I'm kind of sat there with a bunch of really OP Digimon in the VB lab, and I'm like, I don't really care. But if I've got nothing, if I'm riches to rags on the VB ladder, I've got like a rocky staircase to aim for again.
Well, I didn't even realize they were getting rid of the VB lab, I had no clue at all about that. So,
I'm like, I wouldn't mind if the VB Arena app was easily transferable, but the fact that there's just no way to just dump all your guys into the new app is crazy to me.
Yeah. I downloaded the new app because I was like, there's there's a new app I didn't even realise. It's the one with the green box, and I can't remember what it's called. Is it the VB app? Or
VB Arena.
That's the one, yeah. Because I know they stopped doing raids in the VB lab and everything, and I was like, okay, cool, I'll move over to that. And then I was like, I guess I don't need the VB lab anymore, so I deleted the app. And I forgot that I hadn't actually synced up my data, and I lost everything. And I was like, no! Oof. I had an Aegis-Dramon in there that I was really happy with. That was my first ever dim card, evolution, and I was like, the pain.
See, I've just checked on mine now, and I've got a Blitz Greymon in here, so... so I should send that across at some point.
Yeah, probably, yeah. Look after that thing.
Yeah.
I don't really use it as often as I used to. When I first got it, I used it quite a lot. But this week I decided I'll get it back out again.
Yeah, we both strapped them back on.
Yeah, so we both had a little go this week at raising some Digimon. How'd it go for you, Aaron?
It went okay. I already had I can never remember this the spider that isn't a hot woman is what I always remember it as.
Harukenimon? No.
Dorugurumon?
The one that isn't a hot woman, Dakugamon.
Yeah, the one that isn't a hot woman. That's the one.
Oh, yes. I named the hot woman. Okay.
I was like, what? There isn't a hot woman? What are you trying to say about our... Oh, no, the actual spider that isn't... Okay.
No, I would never.
Don't insult my waifu like that.
Yeah, sorry, I would never say that about your wife. But no, I've had that, and to be fair, I had one battle against a Metal Seadramon, because we got a big compressor at work, and it has a little scanny point on it.
Yeah.
And I walked up to it, I was like, beep, I was like, oh, okay, long time, I'll see who I'm going to fight. Metal Seadramon comes out, I'm like, oh, I'm fucked. I'm dead, cool.
Rip.
Lucky.
Yeah, not very cool.
Whereas I turned mine on and I had a Gamamon on there, which I was really happy about. So I've just been raising that, and it's only evolved once, and I feel like I've messed up because it hasn't evolved again. And I'm like, I don't want to cheat and look at Humulos, but maybe I need to.
Yeah.
But I got Gulus Gamamon on here now, and that's the lazy evolution.
Yeah.
But they shouldn't have put the best one behind the laziest route, because I'm happy with
that. So are you on
it.
BEs or regular vital bracelets?
No, we're on the...
okay, I was going to say, the BE tells you your evolution routes, which is super handy.
Oh, that is handy. No, we've got the old ones. I need to get a new one. I'm waiting for them to actually become a bit more available in the UK. They're a bit...
Yeah, I think overseas, it should be soon that Bandai Shop UK. Shut up.
Bandai, come on the show. But we when I was away, I did find a Bakugo dim card, and I was this close to getting it, and I was just like, I don't go on it enough to.
Do they even work with that?
Yeah, they all work. I think with because it's.
The anime ones won't work with the old vital bracelet.
No, good, I didn't get it then.
It's all BE stuff. The only stuff that works with the old vital bracelet is the Digimon, and you can make the old Kamen Rider and Ultraman ones work, but they're a little bit messed up.
Buggy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair enough. I'm glad I didn't get it then.
No, I don't know. I like using this thing, but I'm lazy. That's the problem. The workout stuff is I just look at it, I'm like, oh god, can I be arsed today? I can't be bothered.
Thing is, because I work from 7:30 till 5, so I'm at work and this fella goes off and it's beep doo boop, and I'm there do 10 jumping jacks now. Not when there's tools running. So.
Yeah, for most of the releases, I did like a week with them. And towards the end of some of the weeks, I was just lying there in bed going, I'm definitely doing squats right now. 100%.
Yeah, definitely.
Pringles with the other hand.
Because you're a big swimmer, right? So having the waterproof feature on it must have helped so much.
God, I wish it was actually waterproof, but it isn't.
Yeah, it's splash proof.
It would have been so awesome.
Yeah.
It would be so cool. That's kind of my big hope for another revision will be a fully, or at least like submersible one rather than just splash proof.
Yeah.
I feel like, I know it's asking a lot, like they'd have to put a lot more money into it, but like I wish they'd make it more of a smart watch as well as just
if I could get literally a Digimon over to hit on my
Mm-hmm.
Apple Watch.
I love that you're
like pay for it.
Double fisting watches right now because
yeah, you were like, put your dim on, son, and I was like, okay. So I'm
wear
double
two
fisting.
watches now.
Yeah.
Love that.
I love it.
So, Karn, tell us about your YouTube channel. Like, how did it all
man,
to fruition? And,
sorry, go on. No, you go.
No, I was gonna say, like, what's the most favorite video that you've made, for example?
Oh, that's a good question. Because see, my favorite videos probably aren't the ones that did the best, right? Because people tend to like the custom art videos and stuff, and I love making those. But the stuff I really like is there's a video up on the channel from I think just as like COVID restrictions were easing, where I got my friends to try and guess like what was a Digimon and what was a different monster from a different franchise.
Okay, that's cool.
And stuff like that, like collaborative stuff, all the stuff I've done with like Yoshi, my buddy Brandon from Prag Magic, and like Billiam, Ashley from Watch Mojo. I love making the videos I make, but I feel like I get more personal enjoyment out of the kind of more collaborative, jokey, comedy kind of side of things. Anything where there's other people in it is usually my kind of stuff, but I think any of those kind of like big hitter custom art videos it's rewarding to put the time and money into that and then see that people enjoyed it as well.
Yeah, it's really cool to. I like seeing. I like collaborating with people as well. Even when it came down to like drawing and stuff, it's just a nice sort of when you have two minds meeting and you bounce off of like other people, especially like a YouTuber who normally does stuff by himself.
Right,
it must be nice. Sounds like you live in a cave.
It feels like it sometimes.
When you talk to when you bounce off of other people who have the same spirit as you, it must be nice to we're lucky to have two people here constantly making your mum jokes and talking about obscene things, but it must be nice to bump heads with somebody who cares as much about Digimon, for example.
And that's why I like doing the second channel stuff as well, because that's really where just like me and my friends just go to the depths of cum jokes and stuff, all that kind of like good shit.
Playing Digimon racing and
oh man, yeah.
He'll cut this out, but speaking of cum jokes, as I introduced him to the he had never heard of the My Little Pony jar.
Oh hell yeah!
And he hates it. I showed him the picture, and he was like, "This is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life."
I think it was during lockdown. Maybe it was just after, but either way. Basically at the point where terrorizing my mum was the best thing I could do. I was just like, you've heard about the MLP jar, right, mum?
Oh, so good. Oh, no. It's just how brown the liquid is.
Yeah, it was like left on a radiator or whatever.
Yeah, it's so...
I literally cut all this out of the
podcast. I know,
but
like, it's just too good. I can't.
I was like, I can't do this.
I mean, he said cum joke.
Yeah,
so
I said it, man. I'm sorry.
I'll leave it in.
Finally, redemption for cum jar. But yeah. So, like, with your YouTube channel, how did it all start? Really, did it just was it an idea that stemmed out of nowhere, or was it something that you?
I've always
something else first?
I've always made stuff, like I did drama in high school and stuff, and kind of for a while wanted to be an actor until I realised that acting is awful.
Yeah.
Especially like stage acting, which is kind of where you have to get your start a lot of the time. So I've always done YouTube stuff, and then I guess what a lot of people don't know now is that originally I did stuff on like Power Rangers and Tokusatsu.
I thought you did, yeah.
I'm kind of just shackled to whatever Toei and Bandai Namco throw out at this point, it seems.
Sure.
So I made like some stuff like that, and I'd made other stuff before, and I'd done Let's Plays and stuff, and then kind of felt like I basically got my entire channel, like every video got blocked.
Oh.
So it led to like a channel being hidden, and I had to wait for them to get timed out and stuff. So in that time, I got really into Twitch, and I did about like basically the first year of lockdown in Twitch, just streaming like whatever, and then started slowly doing YouTube stuff again, mostly like Twitch highlights and stuff. And then one day I just decided to talk about like, I think the first one I did was like the armor Digimon that I liked the least. Okay, and I published that in July of 2021. Okay. And it did nothing, like 100 views or whatever. And this is why people like constantly have like roadmaps for content and stuff. This video sat there for all of summer. I had probably the worst birthday of my life, and then a week later, that video got 100,000 views.
Yeah.
Okay. And sort of very rapidly went from kind of no online direction other than like really enjoying streaming stuff to, okay, I guess we're doing Digimon now. And like I've always loved Digimon, but it wasn't something that I necessarily did as like, this is my thing right now.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like because you said before you never really got into Power Rangers.
No, not at all. No. I still haven't seen one episode.
No. Well, however, I grew up all of the same sort of stuff, so I'm assuming we're probably around the same age.
I'm 93.
Yeah, same.
Oh, yeah, actually, same. Weird. No, it's dead on. I thought you meant that he was 93 years old.
I am 93 years
old. I thought that was a joke. I thought that was a joke you were making. Like, I'm really old.
To be fair, being on the internet these days does feel like that way sometimes.
Yeah. So we're both 93, and your birthday's just gone, and mine is coming up. So
the 30 train's catching up.
Yeah.
I'm doing is mentally focusing on having like a really big 30th birthday celebration, so that I don't have to actually think about turning 30.
I'm just going out for cocktails and getting absolutely hammered. So
good fun.
But yeah, no, I grew up on Power Rangers and stuff like that, and I think I must have fell off around the SBD sort of area. But like I'll never forget watching Forever Red. You'll instantly it's like the magnum opus.
I made Kate and she fell asleep.
I made what we called them the women. So my fiance Kaylee, when we first got together, I was like, look, I have to show you this, because it was all on Netflix at the time. I showed her Forever Red. Never watched Power Rangers in life. Does not give a shit. And I was there like, but you don't understand.
I don't understand.
It's Tommy.
Jason's back.
He's never back. And then I'm like, that's the Quantum Ranger. He's epic. He's got a T-Rex as well. And he's like, he's not really a Red Ranger, but he's here. There's red in him. But yeah, no, he so she said I had never felt so sleepy so quickly as what she said to me.
Oh, that's brutal.
I was like, sorry, did you not see him do a drift on a motorbike in space?
Into Serpentera,
yeah.
To a giant snake.
Come on. So, but I feel like Digimon and Power Rangers have that similar sort of vibe and fan sort of
right. I feel like
interaction.
One of the things I've always remarked upon is that how many things I watch. And like I generally find myself to be like a Fox Kids kid, like with the Power Rangers, Digimon, like Spider-Man, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But obviously other franchises like people might not, like Pokemon, for example, that people might not be familiar with.
I don't.
I don't know. I played like the first one, but then like everybody stopped watching it, didn't they? And it was
I just never really got into it personally. I just thought it was never for me.
Yeah. Didn't quite reach the same heights as Digimon. But
no,
like,
it was trying. It was like a rip-off, wasn't it? They were like,
everyone. I always liked Digimon a lot more, and then people came into school with like their Pokemon cards.
Yeah.
And I was there like, what the fuck's that?
It hasn't even got a gun.
Yeah, sorry. What the fuck?
Yeah, where's the guns or the the big dragons? Like Charizard just doesn't count. But yeah, so I was sort of surprised by how much of that was actually Japanese, right? And that was like a big kind of revelation of my teen years, was finding out that like, oh, Power Rangers is adapted and Digimon was dubbed and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I guess kind of that if I had to put a label on the stuff I'm into, it would be like Fox Kids adjacent, because I was never like Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon really.
No, I was definitely more into the Fox Kids sort of era. I just remember on Sky having it on there and.
Well, see, I this is something I get to actually talk about with UK people is that a lot of my experience as well would not be Sky. It would be because my dad and my grandma had Sky, but we've at home have never really been like big live TV people. Like now we don't.
No.
So we'd have Freeview though occasionally throughout our life. Yeah. So it would be like whatever stuff that was also on Fox Kids would end up on like CITV.
Yeah,
and that was like a trip. Apparently that's closing down. Apparently they announced that today. CITV
I saw that today. I was like, that's really upsetting. That something that was again such a big.
Do you remember? Right, okay, this is a slight tangent, but it's not. It's to do with it. Do you remember SMTV Live?
Yes. Absolutely.
I used to love that shit when I was little.
And
and Cat Deely.
Sam. Yeah, that's it.
God.
Yeah, Sam was her character in Chums. They're like.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah,
they're like knockoff friends thing.
See. The knowledge he's spouting out is crazy.
See, my wife's born in 97, and she doesn't remember SMTV.
Oh
Live,
my
and I was like,
God.
It was a live TV show where they would
Wonky Donkey!
It was a live
TV
show
stuff like that, and then like, do you remember, I never used to watch it, but immediately after SMTV Live was CDTV, or CD UK, something like that. And it was kind of like kids' Top of the Pops, but it would start and I would immediately switch off. I was like, I'm done with this.
I reckon my parents were sick of it by the time SMTV Live was over. They were like, right, that's our turn now.
And there was one that was on in the mornings I think it was either the weekends, and then they were like in an attic.
Toon Attic?
What was that? No, yes, that was it. I think that was it, yeah.
With Jamie.
That was crazy. And I had like 3 different hosts, but Jamie was always the
Jamie
one
was like the OG.
Yeah, and they would always play like Kim Possible and like random... Like Totally Spies.
Totally Spies is great. Very slept on.
So sick.
Do you know what I used to love when I was younger? And it was on TV for like a really short amount of time. It was Card Captor Sakura.
Yeah,
there's a new one. There's a new series.
And then I realised, like from watching a Billion video, that it's like really heavily edited for the UK, for the dub.
I have, and I guess it's nostalgia, but I have so much love, and also like I find it so fun how the dub teams that back then had to cater to what networks perceived kids would be able to pay attention to and stuff, and I kind of I have a big love of that.
Digimon.
I was about to say, Digimon's a prime example, isn't it? What do you think of the dub for the original adventure? Because I think it's good. Can I preface, actually? Should we go in now? Okay, so I've only really properly got into Digimon, let's say 4
I think I was going to say, when you moved here, so we literally live across the street from each other. So you've known Kaylee all of your life. Well, not all of your life, like half of your life. But when you moved over, you were like, I was like, I would listen to watch Digimon. And you were like, okay, I've only started getting into it. I was like, watch this. And I gave him like all of my collection.
Oh, wow.
I had. And I was like, watch all of this. And then I think you bought the box set of all, the first 4 series.
Put it behind me, didn't I? Series 1 to 4. I cannot find Data Squad anywhere. It's like not.
It's super hard to get. Yeah, I've got that 1 to 4 collection as well, but I can't seem to find Data Squad either.
Yeah. But no, it's one of those things where you got into it, and then I think, do you have a favourite series? Like both, like.
Okay, well, if you want to ask me mine now, because I've not even finished 02 yet. I've watched all of Adventure, and I'm halfway through 02. In 02, right, the last thing that happened was they just defeated Ken's Chimeramon, and now he's like...
wow.
Died, and I was like, oh shit. And that was like 2 months ago, and I haven't picked it up yet, because it's too traumatic. It's like when Tai went back to the digital world, and I was like, I need a break. And then, because it was so heavy. Because they're so good. It is really fucking good.
Because you haven't seen the movie either, have you?
No. Yeah, I have seen the movie.
You have seen the movie?
Yeah, because I remember just right about now, the front so brother just...
That's why I'll always defend that dub and the movie in particular, because people like to talk about how like this, and obviously the sub is like on a quality level, obviously going for something more intense. But the dub provides some, and I will say there are some moments in Digimon the movie where the dub soundtrack is more emotive than the sub. Like the Omnimon scene, for example. Yeah, sorry, go on.
No, so I was going to say, I think my favourite scene from all of the all of the Digimon movie is that scene where Davis is crying against a tree.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay. It's like, oh. And it's just like, who came up with this and thought this was funny? And it is. Like,
It is, but like, what a expanded brain move. But then I was reading an interview with Mamoru Hosoda, who did all the original like 3 movies.
Okay.
And he's saying how much he loves comedy and how much he tries to put comedy into all of his work. And it's very funny that one of the criticisms I see of the dub is they made it too comedic. And it's like, people who made the Japanese ones really want to do comedy. So is that a criticism?
I mean, I guess they had to also fit the theme of the show as well.
Mhm.
Like in the movie, it would have been really weird to have the dub not match.
Right.
You know, like if
And it's not like the
have...
movie. All 3 of those movies don't have comedic moments. You know, like especially Our War Game is full of comedic stuff.
I love Our War Game. That's the thing I show anyone who's never seen Digimon before. I'm like, what's that?
Yeah.
That's the best Digimon experience for me.
It's peak.
Out of all
It's
of
so
them.
funny because people who perhaps didn't watch it, I'll see like comments on YouTube of other like clips of it or whatever, and people being like, "Wow, this is just like Summer Wars." It's like, yep, same guy.
Yeah, it
Made
is.
before Summer Wars.
I feel like it's like a really good product of its time as well, isn't it? Because it has all the like limitations of like the 90s, like early 2000s era, like problems with getting an internet connection, problems with like just in general like computer stuff. And I thought it was like
Eating your mum's friend's food and being
yeah,
sick.
We've all been there.
Having to use a landline to get in touch with people.
Yeah,
It's
it's just
horrible.
Cool. Like, I like that because it feels like it's not dated though. It just feels like really cool.
No.
Like, it's just,
Yeah, I feel it suits the tone very well. The only movie I haven't seen is the O2 Diaboromon Returns one.
Mm-hmm.
Which I've seen clips of, but I've not watched.
I think it's a
whole
very
thing, which is a
decent
shame.
movie. It's probably like the last movie that I have any emotional attachment to. So I don't think like because obviously Frontier kind of fell off. Like they didn't air it over in the UK as much or something.
I didn't know about Frontiers until I played a Digimon game on the Game Boy Advance, and it was like
Oh
what was it
wow,
called? It was like
Battle Spirit.
yeah, it was. That was Battle Spirit 2, and it had the characters, and I was like, I don't know any of these. I don't know any of these characters at all.
Like, as far as I'm aware, Frontier didn't air over here, so, like...
No.
And I never saw, like, the Tamers movies or any of the Frontier stuff, so I think, like, Zero Two's Revenge of Diaboromon was the last one that I was like, oh, Digimon movie? I don't even know if that aired over here, or if I procured it from somewhere else.
A magical website we shall not name.
So,
yeah.
To answer your question before, I think this is what makes us the best Digimon podcast is that you're like the old school fan and I'm like a newer fan that's come in later. Yeah. So I've only seen 01 and half of 02. I've heard Tamers is really good and I've heard that I'd really enjoy that, so I need to watch that at some point.
Tamers is...
But at the moment, to me, I think my favourite is Ghost Game. It feels like it was made just for me in a way. Like there's something about that like whole vibe that it's like it feels more grown up.
I feel like if you like Ghost Game, you will like Tamers.
This is what you said to me. Yeah, but I like the vibe. I like the whole like kind of spooky element to it.
Yeah,
the episode with the pumpkin one, like trying to like put pumpkins on people's heads and like carve their eyes out and shit. Like it's just really like
all of that stuff. Ghost Game excels at. I just kind of wish they'd approached it overall in a different way, I guess.
A narrative,
yeah, it wouldn't be better if it wasn't a Monster of the Week sort of thing, like an overarching villain, which I suppose it does in... Well,
it gets there, right? But I think it kind of needed to pick a lane, because I think if it had been like a 30-episode fully episodic show, that would have been really great for me. And if it had been like the length it is now, 69 nice episodes, there needs to be a little bit more to keep me invested.
Respect.
Yeah, like I'm getting through episodes. I'm currently on a JoJo binge, and I'm getting halfway through some seasons, and I'm like, should I Google what's filler? Like, because this is half the length, you know.
My partner is like fully in love with Naruto, and obviously that's fucking so full.
Yeah, my god.
I think she knows exactly where filler begins and ends at this point, because she's read all of it. So she's there like, right, skip 10 episodes here, skip 5 here, skip 20 here. I'm like, what? Skip 20 here, what does that mean? And then she's like, oh, this is pain. I'm like, okay, I understand. I get it.
So what was your favourite Digimon anime series?
My favourite season is 02, but I have to, whenever I talk about this, I have to like qualify that most things that are my favourite in a franchise are not what I necessarily think is objectively the best.
Okay.
I love O2.
I'm less hot on it, if I'm honest. I gotta be honest with you.
Yeah, I understand where people don't like 02. I have a huge amount of nostalgia for it, which is like a huge factor in liking it.
That's the thing with me. I've got nostalgia goggles on when I watch it, and I'm sad. Like, I love the Armor Evolutions.
I love Armor Evolution. Yeah, Armor Evolution, DNA Digivolution. I've always been a big fan of passing the torch. Like Power Rangers does it a lot, where you'll have someone who's like a smaller recurring character becoming a Power Ranger, or like anything, especially where like a character starts as a kid and then the time skip happens and then the protagonist or they're like in the party or whatever. Love that shit. So that's always really gripped me with 02. The predictable answer to I think the best like overall season is probably Tamers. But I think I would also probably want to put the spotlight, even though I haven't finished either of them, on Cross Wars and Atmon, who I feel like got a lot of shit, but I think retroactively.
I've been hearing a lot about Atmon, like especially recently as well. It's sort of one of those things where everyone's like, make Atmon like more relevant, put it in the card game and do this and that with it, because the designs I've seen are really cool. Yeah,
I think that's kind of the tragedy of Atmon is they did a lot of 3D stuff in the show, which put a lot of people off, and they didn't like how it kind of cut itself away from Digimon. So a lot of people just want it to be gone, but it seems a bit reactionary.
It is Digimon, but it isn't Digimon. Right. Is what people were sort of on the gut. They're like, I don't know how to explain it. It's sort of, you know, when it's sort of like when Yu-Gi-Oh went, well, here's Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Okay.
And it was also like when they started doing the 3D animations in like Yu-Gi-Oh and stuff, and everyone was there like, I don't like
that. Can we talk about the worst 3D animation I've ever seen in Digimon, which was Gatomon in Tri when it digivolves.
All of them in Tri when they digivolve in the 3D.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy Atmon. It gets worse, trust me.
It's got that uncanny valley feeling to it, where something just looks wrong, and you're looking at it. It's like what's that, like analog horror kind of stuff? Where like, it looks the same, but it's different. What's it called?
Mandela Catalog.
Yeah, that's the one. Mandela Catalog. It's like feels like that. It's like I'm looking at Gatomon. I know it's Gatomon. But it's not that. It's got a weird
That's what I kind of
like
in Original Adventure, or even like 02 and Tamers, when they'd have those little 3D segments. But they've weirdly aged better because they look older and kind of like more PS1, PS2 graphicsy.
Yeah.
I did feel like the ones in Tri, I think that it's when they go from Champion to Ultimate.
Yeah.
Those animations always looked really... Like, they looked really weird and very dated for the time. When the animations, when they go from Rookie to Champion, they look so good in that 2D style. And I was there like, this is cool, this is sick. Like, but yeah, I don't know.
The thing is, right, okay, is even though I've only recently got into Digimon the last, like, 3-4 years, I just, like, I'm so stuck on the music of Digimon. Like, even now when you're talking about Digimon, and I'm just hearing, like, hey, Digimon, hey, Digimon. That really cheesy Jimmy.
Let's kick it up, and here we go, are unironically some of the best songs ever made.
It's just, it plays in my head all the time when I'm just saying any Digimon fight scene, because it is normally being played, I think, at this point.
It feels so, like, anticlimactic, though, but in, like, a really great way. Like, a way that I find funny.
A couple of years ago, I was editing something, and I had Digimon playing in the background, and I think it was the first season, and I was watching it from start to finish, and it was that noise when they first Digimon, the noise. Yeah. And it literally gave me goosebumps the first time I heard it after not hearing it for so long. I was like, yes.
So cool.
Totally.
So, okay, here's a question, because I remember liking Digimon when I was quite young, and then I kind of fell off of it, and I didn't pick it up again until like my late 20s. Like, was that the same for you? Were you always into Digimon? Was it a thing that did you ever drop off and then pick it up again?
I definitely dropped most things. I dropped off sort of when I discovered like partying and sex, and you know substances and shit like that. So, like, probably, from, like... So I was super into all of my kind of properties in, like, early high school, and then up until probably about 14, 15, then, because I think like the last Power Rangers thing I watched was like Ninja Storm.
Yeah.
Digimon I was pretty actively into, but I didn't watch a ton of like the airing stuff. But yeah, so probably 16 through to about 20, but then it was never something that like I stopped thinking about. Like I'd always be like,
with friends, I feel like it was always one of those things where like we always talked about Digimon, like very fondly, more so than anything else.
Like I found like cringy, like remember when Facebook used to have notes? There were like longer posts, and I'd do like notes where I'd like assign my friends like crests and Digimon partners and stuff.
Cool.
And, like,
that's so cool.
And like there's posts from me like seeing like Digimon memes from remember Cheeseburger, the Know Your Meme website.
Oh yeah. Can I have cheeseburger?
Yeah, God.
God, what a classic meme.
Absolute hilarity. Yeah, there'd be like Digimon memes and stuff on there that I'd see on my Facebook memories from 12, 15 years ago at this point, whenever I first started using Facebook. So
was there anything...
Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, was there something that brought you back? Was it like a product or like a release or something? You were like, oh, I need to get back on this again.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember hearing about Try. And I guess that was because it actually weirdly the same reason I got back into Power Rangers was hearing about the anniversary seasons, Megaforce and Super Megaforce, and then kind of falling into into Gokaiju because I found out what Gokaiju was. And I think similarly for Digimon, I must have seen that very first teaser of like Tai talking to Agumon. And I was like, oh shit, I remember this. I like Zero. I like Adventure. I like Zero.
Baby.
Yeah. So I think that's probably what first drew me kind of back into really focusing on it.
I think what, like I said, we always spoke about it really fondly, but there was no content that made us want to come back to it, if you know what I mean. We've done an episode on, like, is Digimon a guilty pleasure recently?
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
And, like, it's one of those things where I feel like when you get into high school, you're meant to not like that stuff. Like, you're not meant to like that stuff anymore. So you don't really openly discuss it. Yeah. As you should, I guess. Yeah. But like, as soon as we got into like college and stuff, I think the thing that really brought me back like recently was seeing when the TCG card game released.
Yeah.
Seeing the art for it and just being like,
it's the so TCG good. On an art level and stuff is super good. I think it's definitely. It's very, like I said, I got back into it through Try, and then like I didn't really watch. Yeah. I watched Try a little bit, didn't like it that much. Like, kind of fell in and out of it. I was also aware of when Fusion was coming out because I didn't watch Fusion Cross Wars for the sub purists, but the toys ended up in Home Bargains for like a ridiculous amount of like a quid for a whole Doraemon figure. Cool. So I had those for a while when I was kind of still on my Power Rangers kit because I was like Digimon but Power Rangers, oh my god. But yeah, I was really fortunate that I just decided to throw out this Digimon video around when like the TCG was really kicking off and in Japan because I was playing translated versions with friends in Tabletop Simulator like before the English release came out. But then like that, and then the Vital Bracelet, and then Lost Evolution Kizuna were all kind of like coming at the same time, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, Digimon's hype again.
Digimon's back, baby.
It's back. There's gonna be no more lull period. Well,
there's like that Survive game that we all waited like 5 years for.
Survive was another one, definitely, when it got announced in 2018, 2017.
No promotion towards it nearer the end.
It was like, oh, they can actually die. Like, even me, who wasn't like back, I wasn't really back on the Digimon wagon at that point. I remember seeing that and being like, ooh, that's interesting. Like, the fact that there's like death in this game. Like,
I'm like super into like sort of atmospheric horror, like Silent Hills, Resident Evils, but also like web shows like Marble Hornets and shit like that. And I was really at my peak of enjoying that shit. Right when Survive is like, hey, Digimon, but scary, and you might die.
I feel like it fits the tone of like the original series and Tamers and Ghost Game quite well.
States.
Yeah, it feels like you're in this world, and it fits the tone very well, I guess. Yeah. So I was gonna ask. You mentioned about crests and stuff earlier. I feel like I know which crest you would have from the people if you've watched Karn beforehand. I feel like you would know what crest he has, but I'll let him say it.
Yeah, I align myself with the crest of kindness, and I feel like that comes across a bit big-headed, but I've always seen crests as a trait that the Digidestined has to learn to embody and earn. Like, Matt's not a particularly good friend, Ty isn't always courageous, Sora loves shit, I guess, sometimes. So kindness I see as like a virtue that is the one that is like, on a most basic level, I think everyone should aim for, like, and we most often fail at, so that's why I kind of like it on that element. Also, I like Kenichi Joji. Sorry, he's the best, apart from later career choices, maybe.
We joke, but me and my other best friend, pretend he's we always called him Daddy Ken because he's just he grows up to be a cool detective.
Okay, well, I don't know that yet.
But, yeah, I mean, I can't really talk about Ken without spoilers, but I'll try and avoid them for you.
That's
but,
fine,
like, yeah, I think also, like, I've always resonated with that because, like, you know, we've all made stupid mistakes when we were, like, teenagers and stuff, so I like that element of redemption to that crest as well. Nice. So, yeah, I guess kindness. People ask me if I had, like, a custom crest, what would it be? I have no idea. Because I've always liked kindness so much. Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Fucking money? Is that a crest? Can I have that? Is that a thing I can do?
Crest of being really tall.
Yeah. Oh, hey, evolve now.
What would you reckon yours would be?
I was going to say to you, because I'm in the market for a Digimon tattoo, because we all made mistakes. I
haven't got one.
In the 90s, we fucked up and we all got Pokemon tattoos back when we were kids. And then, now we're all paying for it
Disgusting.
now. So I feel like I need a Digimon tattoo.
I'm in the market for a Digimon one, to be
fair.
fair.
I feel like it needs to be a crest of some sort, and I don't know what I am. I don't know who has what, if I'm honest. I know that...
I give you sincerity.
Whose is that?
That's, I'm blanking.
Is that Mimi's?
Mimi, yes. Yeah. I mean, you could go elevated with it, right? Because there's the Golden Armor Digivolutions from 02's movie.
Yes.
So you could go with, like, Destiny or Miracles. That could be, like, you know, and it's gold. So you could kind of, like...
Get it on your forehead.
But no, okay, sincerity. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I think so, because I think you're a very... I went with the opposite of Karn in the sense of I feel like I'm very good at making friends. Okay. So I feel like mine would be friendship, because I feel like when I'm friends with someone, I stick to them like glue until they break my heart. And I like, see you later.
Right, and I don't think it has to be something that you don't also embody. Like, I try to be kind, but sometimes people annoy me. And then I'm less kind to them.
And I kill them!
Kill them with kindness, and kindness is a rock that I wrote kindness on.
You scratch the fucking emblem on it and fucking...
That's cool. Okay, I could be sincere. I can do that.
I think so. I'm going
to look at what that looks like later. I feel like I know what it looks like, but I need to look at it again. But yeah, okay, I'm up for it. I'm ready for it.
Do you like plants and ninjas?
Yeah, I like plants.
You play Bloom Lord Mon.
I do play Bloom Lord.
There you go.
Yeah. There you go. I'm in the market. All right, perfect.
Have I told you my expanded brain theory about Bloom Lord Mon and Hydramon?
Okay.
Go on, we're ready. Hydrossimon, you mean?
Hydrossimon. Right? Hydramon is very clearly a giant plant vagina. And Bloom Lord Mon...
Yeah.
Bloom Lord Mon is a big man with a big sword. I believe it is intentional, because they're both on the same dim card, a reference to stamens and pistils, the reproductive organs of plants, but also literally the hydrosi and the bloom lick.
Why would they put on a card so predominantly a cream pie?
Yeah, that's the crazy thing, because that's not in the official Hydramon art. Like, he went, hold on.
No!
Got an idea. What if we made it creamier?
Oh, it's so gross.
Put it in a jar first.
No.
Yeah. But the worst is when you go to locals and someone's got, like, the old art Hydramon in an anime girl sleeve, and you're like, oh god.
Right, because I love my friend Tom to bits. Like, he plays on a Beal. No, the other one. Okay. He plays on a Bealstarmon map, which is very, very underbooby, and I love him so much. But when you have got like a 16-year-old kid who's walked in, we have to sort of censor the mat out a bit.
Putting gaffer tape over there.
Yeah. Look, man, you can't distract people with this. I'm getting flustered. I mean, I'm nearly 30. Should we? What would you say is your favorite Digivice that you've owned?
It's very... So are we talking strictly Digivice or overall VPET?
I feel VPET in general, right? Because I would like to include this.
Right. Because on a technicality, Digivice is obviously stuff in shows and manga stuff. I would say VPET-wise, it's a tie between kind of the overall Vital Bracelet, and there's a VPET from 2005 called the Digimon Axel. It's very cool. It's where like you got like Commandramon and things like that, and also a really underseen evolution type called Blast Mode, which like only really like Beelzemon has had like official art of. But there's like a Marine Angemon Blast Mode that turns it into like a little demon and stuff. And the cool thing about the Axel is that you rev up to attack. It's got a little rev on it, and also the faceplate.
Is it this thing?
That's the one, and also the faceplates are customizable. So you can either buy faceplates from Bandai or just print out your own.
There's a Beelzemon one.
Yeah, and it has like a little gimmick where you can like scan the DNA of the DNA cards and like get the Digimon or their power ups or whatever.
That's fun. They don't make toys like that anymore.
No,
like
I mean,
for us.
Yeah, and that's what I love about it is like it's way less represented. I think and has like a ton of cool features and like a bunch of Digimon modes that have only ever had little tiny sprites. Like we might be getting out of them soon because the next Digimon set is called like Blast Ace or something. So I'm like,
oh, okay,
could be, but yeah, it's definitely that as like a more retro one, and then
that's very cool.
Specifically Digivice, the VV, the most recent one is pretty decent as well.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I had the D3. Is that the O2 one when I was a kid?
Nostalgia-wise, the D3 is my...
Oh, the box!
Yes.
I don't know if you can tell I've got a bias.
I had... What? So, when I was a kid, I had the orange Agumon one. The clear, transparent one. And I am so fucking gutted. I don't know where that has gone because
prices on those go crazy.
Yeah, like not only are they worth a lot of money, but I had I remember going to Toys R Us and walking in, and my mum being like, "Okay, like I'll get it for you." And she bought my me and my brother the mat and the toy.
Awesome.
I don't know where they are, and it breaks my little heart that I'll never see that ever again.
Oh, buddy,
it's so good though. Yeah.
You can kind of cut this for the bit, but I also, speaking of original, I have the original Tiger Pokedex.
Oh wow, look at that.
Which I found in my dad's attic like 2 years ago, and I was like, oh my god, yes, I do remember this.
It's okay to have Pokemon stuff, man, because that's worth a lot of money, so you can just flog that off for a lot of money.
That's true. Like, no one cares about it, you know what I mean? But
know what I mean? Someone will.
It's someone somewhere.
Should we take a quick break and then come back and get to the main topic?
Yeah, how exciting.
Let's take a little break.
Whoa!
Goodness. What are these guys talking about?
What a couple of old jokesters.
Handsome, what a couple of guys, couple of dudes being men.
Anyway, we hope you're enjoying this episode. And if you are, let us know.
Yeah, let us know. Like, subscribe, hit that bell button, drop a comment.
Do all the YouTube stuff that we need you to do to help us grow this show.
I'm not going to beg you to do it.
And if you're listening on a podcast app, then leave us a rating and review. It really helps. It goes a long way.
It makes us feel nice as well.
We're really trying to build the Ace Trainers community.
We are. And we want you to be involved. We don't want any super nerds, though.
No, we can't do it without the help of our Pokemaniacs. So if you're listening and you've got this far, then please do help support us.
No cap.
Let's get back to the show.
Whoop!
And we're back. Hey,
what a break! Did you see that break, Karn?
It was great. It went by like it was like the summers of my youth. It was fast and long all at the same time, you know.
I thought it was incredible.
So our main topic for this episode today was that we were going to get Karn on so we could all talk about our favourite Digimon. And Karn said that his are quite interchangeable, so I'm interested to see what he has to say today. But I kind of thought we could go around like our top 5 and do like number 5 each. Then we'll go back and do like a little circle where we'll just share like our favourite Digimon. This would be interesting because I feel like my favourite Digimon will come from so many different weird angles.
Yeah, I was
came
going to
into
say.
a lot of things all at the same. I think I'll surprise you with a couple of mine.
I don't think I'm going to surprise you at all with any of mine.
Okay.
I feel like my aesthetic is pretty pointy teeth and very evil, so I feel like mine are...
well, why don't we just start with you then?
Yeah, that's fine. I will.
Now you've given us.
Okay, so my top 5. So some of these I have cheated a little bit because. So my first one was Lotmon.
Oh, okay. That actually does surprise me.
Because it was a dark version of Terriermon from the in the movie and everything.
Yeah.
And I feel like it was really cool, like Willis having 2 Digimon and then having one of them go all virusy and fucked up.
That was cool.
Yeah, and Lotmon in Survive. I was putting my time and effort into Lotmon so far. So I'm really enjoying.
There was a really great art of one of the Lotmon Digimon cards that's like a purple one.
Is that the one in this dark?
Yeah, where it's just
with the shadow of Wendigomon. Yeah, that's super cool.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah, no, I love Lotmon. I love how it's normally paired up with
Terriermon.
Yeah, it's paired up with Terriermon, and it's paired up with. I think there was a lot of stuff where it's paired up with. I think I'm thinking of the wrong one. I was gonna say with Intmon. Carry on. No. Yeah. So I think I like Lotmon quite a lot because it's one of those dark Digimon like Black Agumon, for example. But it's pushed into the spotlight.
But it feels more tragic than.
Yeah.
Like I feel quite sad for Lotmon when I see it. I just feel like it's just like always the like. It just gets pushed to that level rather than actually like wanting to go there.
And its whole line is really cool. I love Antilamon. In Tamers, spoiler a little bit.
Go on, that's fine.
But it's not really. It's in Tamers at some point. You've seen the card, so I guess it's yeah. So in Tamers, it's really cool. And like I said, I really like Antilamon and Wendigomon, and that whole line is really cool.
That bit in Survive with Wendigomon is like scarring. Like, I remember like just being so amazed by that bit. I was like, holy shit! Like, what just happened? Like, so crazy. I loved that.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens on the second go round with that because I don't know how. That
it goes places. It goes places.
Karn's like a single tip.
I'm just like, I'm trying not to say anything, but oh my god.
Karn, what's your number 5 pick?
So I really struggle with my like 5th, right? If 1 is my favorite, like what's my 5th? Because I love Lopmon, and the thing that's tough about Digimon is so often they have full evolution lines, right? So it's like I'm trying to think of the one from that line I love the most. So I ultimately went
cheated in some of mine.
Yeah, like I was. It was very tempting to just be like all of one evolution line, but I ended up going with Hagurumon, and it's like literally like a bunch of Digimon: Grace Novamon, Lopmon, Kokabuteriumon. Like a bunch of Digimon could have hit that 5, but I went with Hagurumon because I feel like it's a Cyber Sleuth. Is it Hacker's Memory? One of those two partners.
Yeah.
Cyber Sleuth,
And that's kind of like its only like major outing as a partner, really. There's a couple of other instances. People think that it's one of the Tamers partners, but actually it's not. Garderomon's pre-evolution is something else. But yeah, I just love Hagurumon. I think it's fun that we have very few mechanical rookie Digimon that aren't something else.
It's very strange that there isn't as many of them kicking around, especially with like Machine Dramon and stuff being in the spotlight a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
and we're getting to a point, and like I can kind of see how things like Command Dramon, for example, can lead into that and stuff like that. But Hagurumon I've just always loved, and I've got with all monster franchises, I always gravitate towards cute stuff, but also stuff that's like there's a little bit of edge there, I guess. And so Hagurumon's just chef's kiss. I love him.
I like his little gear hands. He gives me that. I feel like he's a bit of he's the cooler version of that shit thing from Pokemon. What's it called? The magnet thing. I can never remember the names of Pokemon.
Clink?
The magnet one.
It's Clink, that one.
Doesn't matter. Whatever.
Yeah. I never remember the old ones. So,
Old chestnut.
How about you, Thomas?
My number 5 is going to surprise you, I think.
Oh, I'm ready.
And it's actually kind of like a similar thing to what Karn just said. Okay, so my number 5 is Orphanimon.
Oh.
Okay.
Angel one. Okay, so I think the first thing that I really got back into Digimon with was Cyber Sleuth. And I started with Terriermon. And I kind of just kept that Terriermon as like on my team the whole time. And I didn't really know how the evolution worked. So I kind of worked my way up to what I thought was the final level, and when I got there, it ended up being Orphanimon, and I didn't know what it was, and I was like, "This is like badass." It was just a really like cool angel like Digimon with like a sword, and I was like, I'm into this. Like, this is my partner. Like, this is my friend. It got weird. So we de-digivolved.
Change.
We de-digivolved a few times, but Orphanamon was like the first like mega level Digimon that I ever reached. Like,
Orphanamon was really cool.
So it was really cool. By the end of Cyber Sleuth, it was a Terriermon again because it just turned out to be amazingly strong as a Terriermon. So I just kept it small. Yeah.
What I love about Orphanamon is that all of her is covered in armor apart from her midriff.
yeah. It's the opposite of what's her name? Angemon.
Yes, yeah.
Right.
You're not allowed to talk about her.
No, my wife says I'm not allowed to talk about her.
Oh, you're off limits for Angemon.
There's some cards where I put it down on the table and she's like, I can't look at that. I can't look.
But yeah, Orphanamon's just really cool. I just think it's like, it just holds like a special place for me because it's like, oh, this was my first like mega level Digimon and it felt powerful and like, yeah, kind of kept that same Digimon the whole way through. I wish I kept, because I wrote down notes of where the whole Digivolution like went.
You did,
Terriermon.
yeah, I remember.
I was like, I went up and like where I went back and what I went to next and how I got back to ultimately where I came from and like, it was just cool.
Pokemon Fall Down mode is still in like my, like, most of the purple decks I run. I think Fall Down mode is still in my purple yellow deck.
That was cool when I watched Try when I saw that because I didn't know anything about where it came from or what it was meant to evolve from. When it like showed up, I was like, "Oh, this is cool!" Like,
yeah, it's cool.
Yeah,
that whole scene in Try is cool.
Yeah.
All right, going into number 4.
Okay, number 4. Let me just get my notes back up. So this is a recent favorite of mine. So I only played the start of Digimon World 3.
Mm-hmm.
2003.
Is that PS1 or PS2?
PS1.
Yeah, okay.
So I only, when I was younger, I played the first one a bit and I played the third one, but I got stuck on it. I just never got back into playing it. However, in the newest Digimon set, there is this absolute big epic lad who I'm playing in tournaments and stuff at the moment, and it's Galacticmon.
Yeah. Oh,
What's
man.
not cool about a giant, the biggest robot going, that is a spaceship dragon? That is the coolest shit you've ever heard in your life, right?
It's awesome.
Like, the whole line is so sick. The fact that Venmon like cannibalizes itself to a point where it like the strongest survives and that becomes a Snatchmon and then absorbs a cannon. That becomes Destromon. Like, it's so cool that it's like
incredibly cool. And it's also now modern cool because we went for 20 years almost where there was no official art of them or like they weren't seen, you know?
It's like Gaiamon is still the I was reading up on it the other day because I was interested to see if it had another evolution.
Yeah.
And apparently it's only ever spoken about in Digimon World 3. But it's never there's no art of it at all, but it's called Gaiamon, and it's like meant to be like where it absorbs the earth.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's a Digimon the size of a planet is the coolest thing
that is very cool.
It's very Transformers and
we definitely need Unicron-mon.
That's it. Yeah. I don't know. It's just and I started playing it, and it was the deck that I sought after, which made me very fucking sad because I was like, it's a secret rare, sorry, and I was like, right, I'm gonna have to find that now. And it took me so long to try to get all 4 cards, and I finally got it now, like all 4 of them in that deck. And the newest boxes like made it feel like it was such an accomplishment to try and find those cards. Because I think because what we normally do in our shop is we all buy a box, for example,
right?
And we all trade around. Like we're all like, well, I need that, you need that. We're all,
Gotcha.
We're all helping
sit
each
down
other.
And we go, here's what I'm looking for. And then we'll just help each other find what we're looking for. Like,
in the newest set, I don't know how many boxes you had gotten out of the newest ones.
BT11? Is it?
One.
Just the one?
I got sent one the other day.
Same.
So we got, out of all of us, we bought the shop out of boxes. So 11 boxes went. We got 5 secrets out of those 11. Because of their alt art stuff.
Oh, man.
It's rough. And I think it was 2 Galacticmon. Luckily, one of them was the alt art, which I'm still happy that I was given.
Yeah.
It was 3 Renas and 2 Galacticmon. It was pain. It hurt so much trying to be like, yes, I want this Galacticmon deck, and only having 2 and be like, it sort of works.
It happens, I guess.
But yeah, no, I just really appreciated the look of it, the aesthetic of it.
Yeah, you are a big fan of that Galactic Boy.
No, he's so good. And the stack that it gets is like that.
Yeah.
And then you DNA 2 of them. I'm like, where am I going to put this on the table?
I remember when they first started doing those crazy stacks in like BC 4 or 5. And I remember being like, I tweeted like, it's theoretically possible now to have like a 20 stack or whatever it was at that point.
Yes.
And now the stacks are just like, oh, your whole deck. Like, here's a 30 stack, 40 stack.
I think I DNA'd a Blackwall Greymon that had like 7 Venmon under it and like a Destromon with a Durandamon that had... Oh no, with a Galacticmon which had a whole 8 stack underneath it as well. God. I was like, where do I put this on the table? I can't physically put this anywhere unless it breaches onto my opponent's like, fucking side.
That means you win.
Yeah. If you do that, you should win instantly.
Yeah, you've broken like the damage limit of the game.
So who would be your next one, Karn?
I'm gonna go with Pyldramon, and again, this is with me. Nice. Favorite is like so hard because it's so seasonal and so whatever.
Yes,
but
yeah.
Pyldramon's pretty much always been like my favorite ultimate level. It represents 0-2 nicely. It's got Wormmon in there. Spoilers, he might show up. It's got Vmon, who I also am like a big fan of. I like Davis. I know that's a very unpopular opinion. And
I like Davis. I think his cool little jacket is sick.
Yeah, like people hate his dub, I think, more than his sub.
Yes. Yes.
But like also because prior to this point in Adventure, the ultimates were like Metal Greymon and Wergarurumon, who I liked, but I always felt looked... people get mad at me when I say this, but I always felt they kind of looked like middle-aged men. They, like Metal Greymon's got like the podge belly, and like Wergarurumon looks like he's too old to be going to punk nights.
Us soon.
Yeah, literally, it's like, I don't
I love Dropkick Murphy, son.
But Pyldramon was like, holy shit, he's cool. And like while Metal Greymon had the titty tornadoes, titty missiles, Pyldramon had these like cool, the Desperado blasters that came out from the sides and shit. I loved it so much. And then card game wise, it's okay, I guess, but like video game wise, it was always cool seeing it show up. And I think it's just, even in contrast to its evolution, I'm trying to stop forcing myself to call it Imperial Dramon rather than Imperial Dramon. I don't know where I picked that up. I like Imperial Dramon, Dragon Mode and Fighter Mode, but Pyldраmon's just more like succinct and classic to me. So I think that's why it's my favorite.
I feel like seeing that for the first time because that was the first DNA aside from Omni, I guess, if you're counting it. And that's the first one you see go, hang on a fucking minute. And you join the dots. I think that's so sick to sort of...
and also the story combination, while like Omnimon is very personal to like Matt and Ty, the whole journey we lost the light. The whole journey.
Mood lighting.
Ty's talking about 0-2 too much in the light scheme.
The lights were like, we should put a red light on now.
But yeah, basically Pyldramon is a really good combination of a lot of the storylines that I liked of 0-2, and it's a fun time. I like it. It's a good boy.
No, Pyldramon is Pyldramon, I should say. Sorry, is I always like that. That's one of the 3D animations which still holds up. I think,
definitely.
Now. When he comes down, he's like,
yeah. And then before that, with like the 2 butterflies spiraling together and stuff, it's just great visuals.
Like seeing the DNA stuff, I'll never forget the first time being like, this is the cool gimmick now.
Yeah.
How about yours, my friend?
Okay, so mine's going to be a bit of a surprise to you both again, because I told you I haven't watched Tamers before.
Is this actually going to be a surprise to me?
No, but I think it is funny though. I think that because of the reason why I like it, it just doesn't really make... Okay, so my number 4 is Kalumon.
Oh, interesting.
Every single time he plays it in Digimon TCG, he's like, you're fucked now, man. You might as well give it up.
I just think that Kalumon is like adorable for a start. Okay, so I've not seen it in the anime, so I haven't been spoiled by its horrible dub or anything. I don't know whether it does.
No, it's not too bad. It's not offensive, I don't think.
No.
I don't even know what it does. I know it helps evolution. I know that much because this card effect is like, you can suspend it to like draw a card and like when something evolves or something. So like it's just cool. And it's always just become like, it's almost become a bit of a meme for me now. I just kind of love it. Like, it's a cute card, but like, it's become the like, am I missing a card in my deck? Put a Kalumon in there. That's fine.
Put a Kalumon in. Why not?
It goes in decks that don't have any right having a Kalumon in there. Like, it's just funny.
It's good luck trope.
Yeah, it kind of is. I got the full art off of somebody, didn't I? So I've got the alt art, like proper full art version of that card.
Yeah.
And that goes in pretty much every deck. And it was just one of these things. I came second place in a tournament just putting it in a deck that didn't need it. Like, it wasn't using Renamon or, like, Guillamon or, like, Impmon or anything like that. But it went in there and it just, like, helped me win a tournament, like, almost win a tournament. And I was like, this guy's great.
He's the best.
Like, it's become a joke now where I'm like, if it's in someone's hand or something, I'm like, you are fucked. It's over. Like, you guys are so done. Like,
I feel like with Calamon, in Tamers, I always expected a lot from it. I don't know what it was, but like you are right in what you're saying.
Yeah.
That's something to do with evolution, right?
So-
Yeah, it just
We talked about
You
card
can tell me.
captors earlier, and I think what I've always, in my head, what I kind of always expected from Calumon is what happens to the little teddy guy in card captors, where he
Yes,
turns into
yeah,
into the big lion thing. I was always kind of expecting, yeah, not like a full evolution line for Calumon, but just like one like crazy like.
Burst mode, like
Mhm.
we'll come to something similar to that later. One of my other top fives is
Oh,
another one that's a bit like that.
I'm
Yeah,
excited
yeah.
to see what you.
So yeah, no, I think Calamon's just great. I think it kind of fits like the kind of, we've talked about this before, like what makes a Digimon your favorite, and I already said that like I like a simple design. I like something that's kind of cute but simple in design, and like
me too.
looks like it could be like a friend. Like, and
Yeah.
that to me is like I'd be happy with that if that was my Digimon. Like,
yeah,
Calamon would be pretty.
I
Cool.
feel like Calamon would be a pretty decent like partner for you.
Yeah. Go
Yeah.
with my little crest. Yeah.
Mm.
All right. I'll get that tattooed as well. All right. Okay. Cool.
Get a Calamon tattoo.
Yeah.
Sure. Get the digital hazard.
Well, it's the symbol that Calumon's got
The
on its
reverse,
forehead.
yeah.
The I always forget what it's called. The zero signal, I want to say.
Yes, yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
like the zero signal because Guillamon has it. Is it flipped upside down? Or is it
Yeah,
like the
something
reverse,
like. He's
isn't
got
it?
that
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
digital
yeah.
hazard on him.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yes, there you
There
go.
was a tattoo I was looking at that's similar to that anyway, so maybe I'll just get both. It's like the Triforce, but with like a red triangle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Triforce but cooler. It's like
Yeah, it's like Triforce, but cooler.
yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm into it. All right, what's your number 3, buddy?
So my number 3, I think. So here's where my cheating comes in because I couldn't decide properly.
Okay, go on.
I'm sad to say that's the whole Caramon line.
Okay.
What,
Yeah.
up to
Yeah.
Theobald,
Love it.
Like,
Yeah,
It's amazing.
I love it's. All of it is it's chef's kiss from the little jelly man to the hand
Yeah.
to the Kermit the Frog that's evil with his little hands and he's like
oh, to the spider.
yeah to the no because then he goes into the the purple one which no one
Yeah, Chrysalimon, because
Oh,
they
yeah,
skipped
yeah,
over
yeah.
it. Yeah.
They
and then-
skip it, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
and then Infamon is so fucking good. Every time I look at it, I'm like,
In,
you are a dude.
Yeah.
The is it
The movie Our War Game?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Our War Game one. Yeah, that's the one.
Seeing
That's
him
so
and he's
good.
there like spider shooting.
Shooting those little-
Yeah, with the gun
it's
in his
just
mouth.
awesome.
Yeah. And then you see Diaboromon. I love he was the card that was one of my first decks, and I still
Mhm.
love that.
Yeah,
It's
that
still
early Diaboromon tech was so fun.
it's still played now, and I think it's still winning some tournaments
Mm.
in Japan because it's still usable. It's still a good deck.
Mm.
And Armageddon, like I hadn't seen,
Right.
but I do know it. And I had it in Cyber Sleuth, and that's the first time I saw the whole body of it. I was like, "That's."
Actually, I think I
Epic.
did. Yeah.
I just love Diaboromon. I think Diaboromon is like.
Yeah.
I got when I was away. I had made it a mission to try and find the evolution spirit.
He got really jealous basically because I
Yeah.
got this
Yeah, he got.
off a friend of mine. I don't know if you can see it from here. I'll get it down. Here we go. This one here.
Ah, very nice.
I got given this by a friend, and then he got real jealous.
I got really jealous. So as I was around Japan, I went into a model shop and I was like, "I'm gonna fucking find it here." And I saw a Digimon in the window. I was like, "There it fucking is! I'm gonna find it in here." And I found it. I was like, "Sick!" And then one of my cats, I put it up, and I think one of the cats knocked it down.
Oh,
and I had to
no.
find all of the bits to it.
Oh, nightmare.
But I love like the move Catastrophe Cannon is such a cool sounding name as well, and I think our war game does help in this as well. Just seeing that fight between Diaboromon and Infamon beating the shit out of like a War Greymon
Yeah.
is so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that whole
I like
line's
it.
fantastic. It would definitely be like
Yeah.
a top 10. I think it was on my last top 10, if I'm not mistaken.
Really,
Yeah.
yeah.
And he's
6
just
or
so
7.
gangly and long and like
It's so
Mhm.
creepy.
Have
I
you
think.
seen
Yeah.
Karamon X Antibody?
yeah, it's so
The way
cool.
that
It
its
has
head
the
like
lotus.
splits like mitosis, super cool.
Ah, it's so cool. Yeah, I hope. And I know they're never going to do support for Diaboromon again in TCG because the token system just is fucked. But Yeah, I am hoping.
Visceral.
Yeah, I'm just hoping that they do an X antibody because it would be so cool to get more support from. You see, look at Diaboromon X antibody as well. That's kind of
Oh, is that actually a thing?
Yeah. It's not as cool as Keramon, but it's just like a even more.
It's just, when you look at some designs of Digimon, you're like, I don't even know what I'm looking at. It's just, this is one of them.
I think that's why the TCG is so good, honestly, because a lot of the official art is quite hard to pass. And with the TCG, there's elements of Digimon that I've never seen before, and I'm like, oh, that's super cool.
Yeah.
I've been a big champion of you and your Diaboromon.
Yeah, you told me last time I played Diaboromon more.
Yeah, whenever we play cards, I'm like, you loved that deck. So
I still love it. It's just because it doesn't work against stuff. It's not like some of the newer stuff anymore, and I remember entering a tournament with it when I first started, and people were just whacking stuff out, and I was like, I can't. This doesn't play anymore, which makes me so sad. Luckily, I've been given one of the ones that is +1 security for each Diaboromon on the field, which makes it better. So,
nice.
But yeah, no, Diaboromon is chef's kiss. I would love him. For a long time, I would be like, he's my partner, but. There's only one who would be my partner, and that comes up later.
Okay,
So
I'm excited to find out.
Go ahead, Karn.
This is tough. I'm going with Blucomon.
I like him. Yeah.
I need to defend him less these days because when I fell in love with him, he was a China exclusive Digimon.
Okay.
His whole line was they were only in a video game. I think Soul Chaser. I might be wrong. And it's only with the card game really that he started to get more prominence, and now he's been on V-Pets and stuff. But I really like.
Yeah.
Sorry, say that again.
I was saying I'm pretty sure I have the dim card for Blucomon. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the earlier ones was
the Infinite Tide or something.
Yeah. The Blizzard Fang. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I love ice aesthetics in general, and Blucomon and Hexablaumon, his mega. I'm not as hot on Paildramon. Yeah, Hexablaumon. So Hexablaumon card as well. It's got some really cool effects and stuff.
There's a cool alt art in the new set. Yeah.
I remember beating your Diaboromon deck with Hexablaumon.
Oh, one of my worst saltiest games of Digimon card game where I kind of fell off was my friend Baker had a Hexablau Sora Joe deck that made me so mad that I was just like, you know what, Baker. I'm the Digimon guy. You can't do this to me.
I think the one like that for me was when I was one of our tournaments, and I think 3 people out of the 5 that were there were playing in Paildramon. And I was playing. I can't even remember what I was playing now, but I was so sick. I was playing the old Ordenemon.
Or Diamond.
One, so, and I hated it. I couldn't do anything. I was
that's what's frustrating. I think is, and obviously that's just how games work, right? Card games in particular.
Yeah.
But when you go up against something where you're like, there's just no answer. Like I don't. It's not like I can play well out of this. My deck just doesn't have the answer. But but I still love it despite that.
Yeah.
Despite the salt. But yeah, Blucomon in particular, I think I championed it before its kind of rise. And this happens so many times, and it's purely coincidental, but it's funny how many times I'm like, this thing hasn't been seen in years, and then next week it'll show up.
Maybe you're an oracle.
The joke is that I have a JoJo stand called Time After Time that just I can never do it when I want to. When I want something, it'll never happen. But if I'm like, this should happen, that'd be funny, and then a week later, or sometimes while a video is uploading, it will be like, oh, by the way, this has happened now. And I'm like, fuck.
Can you say really quickly now that the Ace Trainers podcast will be the #1 podcast?
See, I can't. I wish I could, because if I said it and wanted to do it and I was told to do it, it never happened. You know, the funniest one that, and this it's always accident. I mean, I wish you great success, but I feel almost like it's a curse, right? The more I actually try, the more.
True.
But the one that sparked it all was I hadn't played Spider-Man PS4 for a year or so. All the DLC had come out, and the day I streamed it, the Sony Disney deal fell through on Spider-Man while I was live. And I was like, what power have I? But yeah,
I'm too strong.
But Blucomon, kind of a similar situation, and now he's getting his love, and hopefully he'll show up as like a partner in something one day, and I'm still kind of rooting for the little guy. Plus, he's unique to a lot of the other dinosaur and dragon Digimon.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't what really annoyed me, as I saw recently, I thought it was a Digimon, but it was that stupid one from that other one. The one that looks like the baby form, for the rookie form, Hirarumon. Hirarumon. Sorry, I read it wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Cub Snooze.
Oh, Cub Chew. Yeah.
Yeah. Stupid name.
Idea. Copying Digimon.
Yeah, it's fucking...
Always.
Get new ideas, you know what I'm saying?
It's ridiculous.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
It's just such a rip-off, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to know my next
Go
one?
ahead.
Okay.
Have I just said no then?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Actually, no.
Nah, I'll skip you actually, shut up.
You like Kalimov.
Yeah.
Okay, so actually, based on the chats we've had about my other two, this feels like the culmination of those two, Orphanimon and Kalimon put together.
Okay.
Because my number 3 is Belphamon.
Belphamon?
Again, I have no idea what it's like in the anime. I absolutely love Belphamon. I even messaged you when we first,
Kissed.
Yeah, when we first kissed, saying, I finally got Belphamon.
Oh,
I was
yeah,
so
I
excited
remember,
about
sorry.
getting Belphamon. Okay, so this is the one I was on about. You know, you're saying you wish Kalimon had some sort of burst mode. I feel like it has the burst mode. It has like a sleep form.
The mode change, yeah.
Yeah.
You put so much effort to get in this fucking Digimon, man.
I found a guide online for Cyber Sleuth about all these. I got deep into the Digivolution paths, like building out all these Digimon, and I found this one path that led to this little innocent looking thing called Belphamon, and I was like, I want to know what that's all about. I didn't know it had a burst mode or like a rage form, so I was like, I'll go get there. So I spent tens of hours, I'd say, just like digivolving and de-digivolving this Digitamamon, from up and down to get enough intelligence, because the stat requirements to get Belphamon were like unbelievable, like more than I've ever had with any other Digimon in that game. It took. I had to go all the way back to the bottom, digivolve out to like Wisemon to get intelligence, then digivolve back, digivolve up. Like it was like snip, snap, snip, snap. Like
snip, snap,
you
snip,
know,
snap.
the kind of Tolkien to someone. Like it was terrible. we just went up and down, and I finally got it, and I got Belphamon, and I was like, I'm so happy. It was this little. It was not even little. It's ginormous.
He's mega
cute, cute little like sleeping demon. And then you just press like form change, and it turns into this like spawn of Satan. And, I just absolutely loved it. It was so cool. It absolutely cleaned up. In the Cyber Sleuth game as well, it had like, if it didn't kill a Digimon, I think it had like a 20% chance to insta kill anything it hit. So just like,
it was the same as like when one of Diaboromon's ones where it was like instant kill something.
So it was just like,
I'm gonna get him on, sorry.
Brutal.
Something fun about sleep mode as well. Its little alarm clock around its neck is based on a Tamagotchi, which is super fun. I love that about it.
Do you know what? I love your tweets recently. Your tweet recently about Nanimon.
Oh, which one was that?
I think it was the one where you were talking about how like he is a Tamagotchi that was like.
That's the whole.
Oh yeah. Nanimon originally, he was Oyaji Tachi from the Tamagotchi. Yeah.
I love that. Yeah,
it's super cool.
So I've just seen recently that I literally looked this morning at BT13 from the Digimon card game, and Belphamon's coming in that.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I want to build that deck.
Build a deck around.
I don't even play purple, but I want to build that deck.
Long time. You're gonna have to play purple if you're gonna do the Beelzemon tournament coming out soon.
I think I will. Yeah. So I love Belphamon. I think it's just really cool. It's one of those like it was like a labor of love. I spent hours and hours getting there, and when I finally got there, it was worth it. It paid off in the long run for sure. It was not a letdown.
No.
Yes.
Yeah, Belphamon, pretty cool.
Okay, so my next one is so Tom, you know my aesthetic. You know what I go for in all ways of life. So
careful, Karn. Don't cut yourself on his edge. Right?
I'm so jagged and pointy. So my number 2 is actually like Devimon.
Interesting. Okay.
Just from that first series, I think I fell in love with. I don't know. I just love his like big tattered wings.
Yeah.
And like it's such a simple sort of. I don't know. I think it's a nostalgic thing for me where I just love his whole vibe.
You love his whole?
I love his whole.
Hey, I mean,
it is. Hey,
there's that one Devimon alt art where he looks very daddy. So I mean, I understand.
There's a lot of the alt arts like in. Especially for Devimon, I feel like he has a lot of alt arts. I've seen at least like 4 or 5 for him because again, I think he's just like one of the first villains, I guess.
Yeah.
But no, Devimon is just There's not a lot I can say about it apart from I just really dig Devimon, and Devimon is also one of my favourite little
Devimon's awesome.
Yeah, he's really cool. And I love Neo Devimon. I still think Neo Devimon is busted in the card game, especially at the moment when cross stuff is fucked. The fact that you'd be like, gain free memory.
Oh, yeah.
Not even once per turn. It's just...
Yeah, it's good. I hate playing against it.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool design. I like Devimon.
Yeah,
it's not something I've never really thought about it much.
No.
But I do like it, yeah.
Yeah, I just remember Devimon is like his big, long, horrible arms.
Yeah, especially in the OP to Adventure, where he's kind of in that more shadowy form coming over the world.
Yeah, it comes out of in the opening, isn't it? Yeah,
super iconic. Like.
So I just love Devimon. For sure.
So my two, this is where anyone that's watched my videos is like tuning out because they already know. My second is Wormmon. It comes and goes between Wormmon and Stingmon. It was almost Stingmon, but I'm going with Wormmon. He is like
Kamen Rider fan, aren't you? So I guess.
I mean, like that's what I liked about Stingmon. I liked Stingmon before I knew really about Kamen Rider, so I don't know, but it definitely like kind of it brought it down. But Wormmon was my favorite before I knew about my number one pick. And I mainly because of the anime, he's adorable in the dub. He's adorable in all versions, but the dub version is so... Yeah, oh, no.
I was going to ask you that. All right, what do you think of his dub? Because
I love it.
I hated the word.
Whoa!
I've got to be honest.
Khan, if you left right now, I'd understand.
I feel like you should just do a podcast.
the Wormmon podcast.
Yeah, every week is just a different discussion about how good Wormmon is. His dub voice is really cute. His sub voice is really cute. His dub voice, I think, has such charm to it. I think it's Derek Stephen Prince. The character, like, the idea of someone's Digimon partner seeing that for the first time, where they'll just, like, we didn't even really know Wormmon was Ken's partner.
No. Yeah, he was just like a sidekick. If you know, like Robotnik has, like, his two little lackeys in the Sonic cartoon.
Totally.
Across like that.
Yeah.
So, like, not knowing really that he was his partner, but seeing how, like, badly treated he was, and then, like, obviously, I'm not going to spoil what happens to Wormmon, but things happen. All of that whole, like, the whole storyline and stuff is just so great. And then I've always had, it's weird, with the Pokemon, right, whatever, I don't gravitate towards their bug types, but in Digimon, I love bug Digimon.
Bug Digimon seems so much cooler and...
Yeah. Well, everything about Digimon's cooler, but Wormmon in particular, I think it's just that fucking meme of Marge Simpson holding up the potato. I just think it's neat. That's all I have for Wormmon. I just think he's neat.
Yeah, I always had an appreciation for Wormmon. I think he's just a cool dude.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you got Bancho Stingmon.
Yeah. I mean, the Evos go crazy from Stingmon, Jewel Beamon, Bancho Stingmon, Grand Kuagamon. Obviously, he ties into Pyeldramon, Imperialdramon, etc. You know.
No, I've always had an appreciation for Wormmon. It's definitely one of my favorite ones.
I'm not giving him enough time.
You haven't. From the sound of it, you've not given him any time.
You need to let him into your heart, you know.
Yeah.
I need to let Vmon in as well. That guy can.
Oh no, I don't like Vmon. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every time that Isaac plays Vmon, I'm like, they think he's so ugly. Sid the sloth looking dude.
Yeah.
But
I'll give Wormmon more of a chance.
I think Wormmon needs more of a chance than Vmon. Any day.
Fair enough.
Okay, get away. This is where Khan's like, my number one is Vmon.
I do like Vmon, but he's not my number one, thankfully. That would have sucked though. I'd have been like,
I would have been like, I'm really sorry.
I don't want to say it, I feel bad.
That's just sort of my whole vibe. Was like, Tom always calls me a gatekeeper.
Yeah, you are.
But I don't intentionally mean to be. It's just I say things. I made a statement once about the best. We were talking very briefly about Pokemon, about which, you know...
We had like a throwback. Do you remember that show? Yeah.
Yeah, about which starter is the best. And I made a comment about... And it did win our little group, but I made a very bold comment of 9 out of 10 people. In fact, I'll ask you, who is the best starter Pokemon? Who's your favourite starter Pokemon?
I mean, you're not gonna... I don't know, actually, it's Totodile.
Oh, you see, it's a Gen 2 one, so,
I
you know...
that one from when I was a kid, yeah. It's that Crocodile one, yeah.
Yeah. But I said the fiery hedgehog fella.
Oh, yeah. Cinder something, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
very good one.
I made a comment that 9 out of 10 people would say that one.
Probably. Well, see, I always like the little plant guy, and I've been told that people didn't. The second plant guy, not the first one.
Oh.
Yeah. What's his name? Toadstool.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Toad's cool. Anyway. Okay, my number 2. I sound like a real basic bitch, right?
And you are.
It's this guy right here.
For real?
Agumon. Okay.
Agumon is my second favourite. I fucking love Agumon. I think it's a lot of nostalgia plus anime plus like Digimon Survive.
Mm-hmm.
He's always a constant.
The card game just panders to that boy so much. Every new set, there's like another Agumon, and there's more of a reason to build an Agumon deck. And I just like find myself just being like, this guy's great.
He will never not have support.
Yeah.
I think genuinely Survive was what brought me around to it more than ever. Like, just having no choice but to have that as your partner in that game really made me appreciate it more. And
I feel like his character always stays relatively the same as well, if you know what I mean. It sounds strange to say. The only one that I wish, and I know you've said this beforehand, Karn, in your videos beforehand, about is Bushi Agumon.
Yeah, Bushi Agumon was so good.
It's so cool to see like a more samurai-looking Greymon leading up to the final evolution.
It's Gaimon.
That's it. It's Gaimon.
Yeah.
And it would be so cool to see a full evolution leading up to that. And it's just a shame that we don't have one. But no, Agumon, this little fella.
Yeah, there he is.
Yeah, I mean, he's a, if not the mascot for a reason. Yeah. I feel like even people that are kind of sick of him are never actually that mad to see him. You know?
No.
Because they tried to push Patamon as the mascot.
That was my favourite when I was a kid. Yeah.
Patamon, I feel like a lot of people would say that Patamon was their favourite.
Digimon Adventure, and I think, why? He's so
Patamon goes places, but it's not really Patamon, right? It's like Angemon and stuff that kind of go places.
Yeah.
I remember when I was a kid, though, I had it was a Tokomon that you could flip inside out, and it would turn into a Patamon.
That's so sick.
I used to love stuff like that.
Yeah. They were cool.
I used to have the another thing that I'm so sad that I don't know where it's gone. The Digivolving. Like, I had the Werewolf one, and I had the Greymon one that turned into Metal Greymon.
I was never huge on figures for some reason, because I didn't really have figures for Adventure and Zero T. So my first Digivolving figure was the Gargomon that became Rapidmon toy from Tamers.
Yes.
I love that one. I know, and I did also have the Digivolving Zero Two toys that went from the Digi-Egg to the Digimon.
Yes.
Those were sick.
One of my friends has the Magnamon and the Flamedramon one.
Oh, cool.
The Flamedramon's really cool. The eggs were really sick. Like, one video we'll have to give a quick shout out to Billiam, but the thing that made me like remember all of this was I watched that retrospective.
Oh yeah.
Like, whenever I need something to draw to or something that I need to focus on, I put that on in the background, and they're like, it's just a familiar sounding sort of like noise that I guess that like, but that made me go.
When I was gardening in the summer last year, that was like my background for like 2.5 hours or whatever. Yeah, that was good.
I'm so glad all that content came back on his channel.
Yeah, right.
Like,
that was rough.
Yeah.
But yeah, Agumon's just great. I think it's just really cool. I like everything they've done with the card game. Like, it's introduced me to a lot of things like X Antibody, which I wouldn't have known about before. Like, seeing all these different versions of like how I could get to like Metal Greymon, like to War Greymon or like Black War Greymon and stuff. I've just like kind of been introduced through Agumon, and it feels like, it's just cool to explore. And also, like I said, Survive just really made me appreciate it, and like the fact
Agumon's
that your
great
decisions changed its evolutions and stuff, and it was like it's just really cool. I love it. Big fan.
Big fan of this little fella.
He's great. I'm really jealous of this. He brought it around right before.
That's very cool.
So cool. I picked this up. So if you're in Japan, right? You said you're planning on going to Japan. Literally, don't think about your bank at all.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah,
because the first week that we were in Tokyo for a week, and then we went to Kyoto. Osaka, sorry, and Kyoto were around the same sort of area. But the first week and a bit, we went to like Akihabara and stuff, and honestly, I saw this in a Mandrake, and I was like, I'm going to pick that up. And I messaged one of my other friends, like, look what I just bought. And he went, are you joking? They're like 40 quid over here.
Yeah.
This was 1,500 yen.
Wow.
Yeah. And
it's like 15 quid, 12 quid.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got like the box at home, and I was like, I'm so happy. He's such a good little guy.
He's just awesome. I love it. I didn't even know you had this, and you brought it around. I was like, can I keep this?
It's such a good figure, but I have also the I tried to look for the Beelsmon Gundam model kit, because I've got the Wargreymon and I've got the Machine Drummon ones, and they're so good quality.
They are very good quality.
Yeah. Which leads me into my number one.
There we go.
So there he is. It's almost like you didn't know this was coming.
It's Machine Drummon.
No, it's not Machine Drummon. Sadly, he's good, but he's not as good as my partner Digimon, my one and only little fella. It would be the little asshole himself, the little gremlin. Would be Impmon, and just the whole line of Impmon. He's so good. And
so this is a crucial question. What is your go-to Impmon line? Because there's a couple of variations.
See, I really like the original Impmon line. I think the Tamers series really set that out for me.
What? So in what regard? Because what would that line be for you?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I thought it was so Impmon to Wizardmon, Balmon, and
right. So that isn't.
Beelsmon.
This is something that's kind of been that people have forgotten. That wasn't
That's
the original.
That's the one that
Impmon
I always.
line.
Yeah.
Because Balmon got introduced in Cross Wars. So we had this 10-year period where there was just what do we use as the ultimate for Impmon?
What's the sort of? I don't know what people were using, because I think it was I can't remember what it was in the original one that I had, because I had the swipey Digivice.
I think it was something like I want to say like a Neo Devimon or a.
I was going to say I would think it was Neo Devimon at the time, because I remember it being that sort of weird sort of theory. Did you just send me?
I'm just
picture?
sending car memes that I send you.
Nice.
He's so mean to my little dude.
I hate Impmon so
Why?
much.
It was okay. So this is surprising. So on the Depower version 3.0, the line was Impmon to Meramon to Death Meramon and then Beelzemon, which I think works,
sense,
but
though.
weird, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just that line from going from Impmon to Beelzemon.
Mm-hmm.
This Tamers, it just in general, seeing it fits my whole sort of attitude. A little asshole, little gremlin, shitty little fucking dude who just goes, "Do you know what? I'm gonna get a fucking gun," and then he's there he's cool. He's my favorite deck that I played quite a lot, and I'm so excited to get all the support that's coming out for it over the next couple of TCG set stuff.
That structure deck actually looks really nice. It's the first structure deck that I've cared about in a while.
Yeah, and you've got the X antibody stuff coming out soon as well. In the next set, I showed you the X antibody, and you I showed it to you. And you're like, actually, I like it more now, man.
It looks pretty cool. And then you went, I really like his eye patch, and then I was like, he's got a fucking eye patch.
Of course he does. Grow up.
But see, that's what's cool about the whole Impmon X, Wizardmon X, Balmon X, and Beelzemon X is the eye patch and stuff makes them a more cohesive Digivolution line, which you don't get in the non-X versions, which I think is pretty fun.
No. I just really like Beelzemon, and I really like the blast mode, and I'm not quite such a big fan of the cross one. But I've always really connected with the Impmon. I've always said to you that Impmon, I think, would be, if I was to have a partner Digimon, it would be him just hanging out and doing whatever the fuck he wanted. And he was just, he shoots a little fire from his little hands. He's like, poo poo. And his little accent in the Tamers series, in the dub version, is so good. It gives me a big...
watch it. Yeah.
He's like a big, Joey Wheeler sort of...
Ooh, okay.
No, maybe not quite Joey. It's
not
more
as
like
bad
Joe
as
Pesci,
Joey Wheeler. Yes,
So
it's...
come on, we gotta go babba boom, that kind of shit.
Babba boom, sonny.
Wow.
Yeah, he's so good.
Interesting.
I don't know. And then he gets a motorbike, and that's what's cooler than a guy with a gun on a bike?
But at what point does he become just a guy? He's just a guy.
But he's a guy I'd like to kiss. So it is what it is.
That definitely becomes a qualifier with Digimon. It's would I kiss them?
Yeah.
Does that make them go up or down in my?
But this is the question that you've asked beforehand. I
What's
think
that?
it was you that asked beforehand. Are they pets or are they friends?
Yeah. This is what we said. Okay, this is why we said that the Digimon's better than Pokemon ultimately, and why I think it survived longer is that
Survived.
yeah, survive. Is that like Digimon are like your buddy, aren't they? Like,
Yeah.
You catch Pokemon and you keep them as like pets, whereas like Digimon is like a friend. Like,
Totally. There's a great tweet that one of my channel artists did where he pointed out the major difference between the two is whenever you see Digimon and their tamers eating, they eat together at the table. And whenever Pokemon and their trainers eat, the Pokemon are on the floor with dog food bowls. You know?
Subservient. Yeah.
Eat it!
Yeah, like there's a partnership with Digimon, whereas like Pokemon's like subservient. It's weird.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. There's like a leader, but in like Digimon, it's like they're just friends. Who's your favourite?
Drum roll. Everyone that's come from my channel, you're going to be so surprised here. My number one is Fan Beamon.
It had to be. I was waiting. He's such a good boy.
He's amazing. So he hits all my Wormmon criteria. He's a bug. He's cute. He's a little rookie guy. He's got a great Digivolution line. Like, picking which one of those I think is the best is so hard. Cannon Beamon is especially great. Tiger Vespimon's great.
Yes, I love it.
Just phenomenal. Like, it was great to see them in Adventure 2020. Well, see Fan Beamon and up to Cannon Beamon. But still, like, super slept on. Like, no cards.
No, they're nothing yet.
Wasn't there like a bit of one Fan Beamon in like the art?
Yeah, I think there's like a Fan Beamon in the background, and then like I want to say like a dead Cannon Beamon is in the background of one card or something. Yeah, I think so. Like he keeps like getting done dirty. So yeah, like no card outing yet. I don't think. Oh no, he might be on a VPET. I think he is on a VPET, but like he's not been on the.
It's just a shame because I feel like a lot of fan favorite ones, they wait until they go, right, okay, now we will upload.
Yeah,
you know,
for real.
Not upload, but you know what I'm saying.
I think it is like that one, you know, that card. I'm pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it might be Def X. Yeah. I've seen it before, but it's not. Yeah, it's been a while.
But yeah,
so
like
what is it like? Yeah, when did it? Because I haven't seen it in any. Media
so it does show up in Hacker's Memory. Its Evolutions do as like a prominent side character partner Evolution. But yeah, I think I can't remember where I first saw it. It was probably just like internet, like before I made. Well, when I was a kid, I used to just troll like fan websites and stuff for all sorts of shit, like Power Rangers, Wikimon, whatever.
Yeah. So
then finding, because I've always really liked Wasp and B aesthetics too. There's a ton of. There's like a really cool Kamen Rider that's got B aesthetics. There's like basically anytime something's like yellow and black stripes, I'm like, that's kind of fucking cool. And then I think seeing, I couldn't tell you where I first saw it. It must have just been a picture. But then finding out how little it kind of had outings at this point. This was like pre-Cyber Sleuth, pre-Hacker's Memory. I might have seen it in Digimon Masters, maybe. But then seeing its Evolution Waspmon.
I think that was its first. So you've got Digimon Next was its first. Like
it's like a
outing,
manga,
I think. Yeah. So
right. But that's another cool thing about it as well is that it's a natural carrier of the X antibody. Its whole evolution line is, but it doesn't actually doesn't have like it's not an X form. But then like seeing it evolve to Waspmon and then Cannon Beamon is just insane because I do like machine Digimon. Seeing this fucking huge railgun wasp thing is so cool, and then. Very Kamen Rider-y sort of mega.
I remember seeing it in Cyber Sleuth and being like, "That's sick." That's very
it's
cool.
just like, and the fact that Fan Beamon's so cute, and then it so quickly goes to like these sort of evil-looking guys. And then I would say like I always feel hard done by. There's Digimon that I like that I don't even know if I'd necessarily like if they were in an anime, but because they just like Bemon and Snatchmon, which by the way. Every time I say Snatchmon, I'm like, it's okay.
No, I know. Every time I lay it down, I'm like, Digivolve to Snatchmon. I'm sorry, that's not his name. I showed my partner does not care about Digimon whatsoever. So when I said, oh yeah, here's Snatchmon, she went, what? I'm like, yes, it's called Snatchmon. Let's leave it alone.
That's all you need to know.
Yeah.
So, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to bring it up. Anyway, but yeah. So, and the fact that even though it it got an outing in Adventure 2020, and I was like, oh great, we're going to get a dim card. We're going to get cards for it, and we just kind of haven't. And obviously, it'll happen at some point. But yeah, I'm always
yeah,
kind
they
of
have
in
to,
its
I feel.
corner. And yeah, just again, look, I think it's neat.
What is the Mega? Is it Tiger?
Tiger Vespermon.
It is, yeah. Okay, cool. I really like that one. I've
Yeah.
tried that's in Cyber Sleuth as well.
Yes,
I think
yeah,
I think it's
yeah.
obtainable.
He's like one of
because
the main one. Yeah,
I don't know if it was originally in Cyber Sleuth, but then because of they released the double collection, all the Digimon that are in one were in the other kind of
That
thing. But that
one.
might be exactly.
That's
But that,
the
it might
one.
have been in
Okay.
the base game. I forget.
Yeah.
It's like a character. Well, it's a partner in Tiger's memory.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's someone's like.
Oh no,
Favorite.
is it not in Cyber Sleuth as well?
No, it's
actually?
in the first one. I was gonna say.
Oh
I
yeah,
think
you know,
it's in
you're
the
so right.
first
Yeah,
one.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just has another
Would
thing
you
in
say
Tiger's
that
memory.
these? Because I would say that Impmon would be my partner Digimon if I was to have one. Would you say that Fanbeamon would be yours?
Fanbeamon's absolutely like again, it fits my sort of vibe quite well, and
Yes.
because not a lot of people pick it, I think that's always been my category for like
Yeah.
favorites or specifically partner Digimon. And that's another reason I think I was rebelling a little bit, because it was so common, especially sort of like mid 2000s to late 2010s. Everyone always picked fucking Dorumon because they thought
Yeah.
it was like not a favorite, but
Yeah.
and I feel bad if your number one's Dorumon, but like
No. It's
Like,
okay. You're good.
Change
it's
it.
because it was only in this like Japanese movie, and it was like an ex
Yeah,
antibody
yeah.
natural carrier
Which-
or whatever the fuck
Also,
it was.
that movie is 3D. Let's just talk about that quickly.
Yeah, I've
Right.
seen that.
God
Well,
awful.
I've not watched it, but I've seen.
Ah.
Yeah, it looks.
But it would
bad.
just always be Dorumon, and I was sick of it, and I didn't want to pick Ryudamon because it's like the counterpart or whatever. And then I found
Yeah.
Fanbeamon, and I was like, that's it, that's my rare boy.
Him.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's really strange because I don't like Doru all that much.
hmm
Like Alphamon as well. That whole line, just I don't know what it is about it. It's not.
I've grown to like it a little more because I've gotten over my like people
Yeah.
are annoying me phase. But yeah, I've never super hardcore resonated with it. I prefer Ryudamon's like Hisaryumon and Oryumon
Yes.
a lot more. But yeah, Dorumon. I like the new guy though, Lugamon from Seekers.
Yeah, he
He looks
pretty
cool. I hope his
He looks
evolutions
pretty-
aren't ass.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So, would you say that your number one would be your partner as well?
Definitely.
Definitely.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. Okay, so it is Gamamon. Okay, I'm not going to.
Okay.
I was gonna say.
Gamamon is my favorite Digimon.
He's such a good boy.
It's my favorite of all time. Like, there's no way. Like, it's just it came with the right time for me. Like that. I feel like Ghost Game was like the perfect thing for me at the perfect time.
It was
like,
a good introductory point.
I didn't before I even
You know what
watched
I mean?
it. I remember talking to you about like who my favorite Digimon was, and I was like, I think it's probably Jellymon because I just loved its design. I was like, I think Jellymon's like gonna be my favorite character. Like when I eventually watched that, because I really loved how it looked and I loved its design.
Yeah.
I watched the show, and then like before Jellymon even showed up, I was like, Gamamon is incredible. I love it so much.
He's just a baby.
It's a baby. It is a baby, but it's cute as hell.
Yeah.
And like I just love everything about Gamamon. If I'm honest, like it's just like it's perfect. to me.
I love his little wings.
It's animalistic. Yeah, it's got wings. Like it's just kind of like it's cute and nice. Like I just think it's awesome. All its Digivolutions, the fact that it has 4 different Digivolutions, and then like Hannah Weissmon is like this perfect like.
What I liked about it, what I didn't realize until recently, is that he's got like a wrist thing on,
Yeah.
which looks like the watch
Mm.
that Hero wears, and I was like, that's a cool, nice little
Mhm.
character design
Yeah.
touch. That I was like, oh, that's really interesting that they would do. Well, and he has the bandana like thing from.
Yeah, I just
Yeah, like-
it's just cool.
He's just cool.
It's just everything about it is just something great. Like just even the second episode where like he just eats chocolate for the first
Yeah.
time, and I was like, this guy is just so cute. Like
That's very. I thought that was very Venom-y of him.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
It is, yeah, to be fair.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've watched much. I mean, you said, Karn, that you've watched a few episodes of Ghost Game. I know you haven't seen much, have you?
I've seen enough to know the whole.
So, probably the first, 15, 20 episodes, spoiler for that.
Yeah, I've seen
episode
those.
Where the... I can't remember which member of the D Brigade it is now that kills Bokomon.
Sealsdramon, you
Sealsdramon,
bastard.
yeah, Sealsdramon. In front of Gamamon, it's about to kill Gamamon, and Bokomon jumps in the way and sacrifices itself, and then that's when you first see Gulus It actually gave me like shivers. It was incredible because I didn't know it was going to happen. It's the way they did the same evolution screen where it says like Gamamon Shinta, and then it just goes all dark and then like implodes, and it's really epic. It's very very.
That episode was like, for me, I was like, okay, here we go, and then for the next 10 episodes, I was like, here we go.
We're still going.
Come on, but yeah, Gamamon's great. Like, so there's a lot of Digimon fans who will be very Digivolution is free. Stop talking about lines that make sense, and it's like, okay, fine. But for partner Digimon, that's always been the thing. Like Agumon to Greymon,
it has always been
Greymon.
A aligned sort of system, hasn't it? Like,
right.
You always assume that Agumon's going to go into a Greymon.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about Gamamon and his evolutions, especially particularly his champions, and I guess on the V-Pets he's also got some ultimates. They all feel like Gamamon, but they each get to explore like a different like primary trait.
Yeah.
And like that concept, I wish we kind of have it retroactively with partner Digimon, but like I'm in my head picturing like what an Agumon equivalent of that would be, like getting like like a railgun Agumon, a flying Agumon, etc.
I mean, I guess
so
you sort of have the one from. I was going to say the one from Cross. You have like the blue flare.
Right, like you there's a lot of variants, but generally
you have the Greymon, if you know what I mean. You know?
Then they're not fulfilling like even at mega level, like the only time that I think it's really exemplary is like the difference between Blitz Greymon and War Greymon, where they're like almost an inverse. But generally variants tend to be more maybe a slightly different thing, but they're not like different RPG classes, which is what Gamamon's Evos feel like, you know, which I really like.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm a big fan. I think it's great. Like I've seen like where it goes, everywhere it goes. I'm on board for this.
Yeah,
I've been collecting like all the Gamamon cards, building Gamamon.
You got the Illustrator ones, didn't you? Because we all got the Illustrator set, and we all gave everybody the cards from that. So you had the whole set of that. And I had the whole Devon
on a brand level. Also, that's some great synergy because he works on a VB level, and then in the card game he works because there's all the different colors, right? Just like you know,
it's really cool how it goes up to different colors. I love seeing it. Like,
I also feel like he works very similarly to Agumon. I feel like they tried to do it because Agumon is like a little Velociraptor T-Rex thing,
right?
And then you have the Triceratops sort of, you know, and it's very cool to see that similar sort of.
Definitely.
And then also it harks back to Tamers and Guilmon very intimately, you know, with like spoilers for what happens to Guilmon and stuff like that. So, he's a very nice. Again, I've got my criticisms of Ghost Game, but Gamamon himself is like, this is how good Digimon can be.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, that's my favourite.
Wow.
Should we wrap this?
Yeah, we'll wrap this up. So to wrap this up, I have a little game which Tom doesn't.
Okay.
So it's not the one that we've done before.
In previous episodes, this guy likes to show me Rule 34 pictures and get me to tell me what I'm looking at in the most PG way possible, and I hope it's not that.
It isn't that. But
you
know, next time that Karn comes on.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the phone being just put up to the lens with just like little bunny tits or something.
Yeah, look at that. See this. So I have a game, and it's Digimon that already exists, or random items that I've named thrown together.
Okay.
So just please shout, you know, whatever you're at. So I will read these things out, and I'll give you both a second to sort of.
I was gonna say because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna know, right? So like, should I be like the phone a friend or something? Like, what's you know, like
yeah, maybe.
Yeah, okay. So
you can sub me in for one question. You can sub me in for one question.
Okay, right. This is
how many questions have you got? How many have you got?
I've got 5.
Okay, so you can sub me in for one. That's your lifeline. And if I fuck it up, that will be hilarious.
Right, okay.
Okay, so first of all, I've gone quite easy to start off with. Okay, so I've gone Trumpet Frog.
What? As in, like, that's what? It's like Trumpet Frogmon. Or...
No, but
I've got to name the Digimon.
Yeah, or is it not real?
Is that melding of ideas a Digimon?
It is. Sorry, okay, it is a Gekomon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. I got the quiz because I knew that was Gekomon. I was like,
Okay, so Bazooka, Sheep, and Smiles.
Oh, I know what that is. That's is that Mega Gargamon?
No.
Ooh.
I mean, it is a. You are going. It is a Digimon.
Is it Rapidmon?
It isn't Rapidmon.
I'm thinking about the smiley face cannons. Like they have the little.
Yeah.
But sheep.
You're on a similar line.
Yeah, they're very similar. I feel like a lot of the bazookas have a little smiley face on it at this point. Yeah.
I feel like I'm gonna have to throw my phone a friend already, aren't I? Because I don't know.
And go with the animal I named there, and then say Mon afterwards.
What, Sheepmon?
Yeah, it's literally what
it's an
it is.
armored Digimon.
Yeah,
called Sheepmon.
Short Sheepmon.
Okay. I'm gonna have to put pictures in this episode anyway.
Yeah. There'll be a picture of it on the screen.
But you've got me there, right?
Okay, so the next one.
Okay, go on.
Tombstone, Scythe, Brains.
This is a hard question. Karn, do you know these? I feel like you need to join in.
Yeah,
What is the Sheepmon? Oh my god. What the heck? Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Well, I have an answer for this if you wanted to tag me in, but I would say maybe go with your gut first.
Tombstone, Scythe, and...
Brains.
So when you say Brains, I think of Ebimon. You know, the weird little alien UFO guy. But then you say Tombstone and Scythe. Like, that doesn't
throws him
track.
off.
Yeah. No, I need your help, Karn.
So I say that's fake. I don't believe
fake.
that's a Digimon.
My man knows.
Though I think you're pulling from a couple... Well, obviously, like Tombstone, Scythe, and Brains kind of feel like up your wheelhouse anyway, but also there's like a few Scythe Digimon. There's technically a Digimon that is a Tombstone. That's the Death Digimon from the V-Pets. But yeah, Brains is what made me realise that wasn't...
Okay, so...
How many have we got left? 2?
2 left.
Okay.
Cage, Uzi, and Ball and Chain. Look at Karn's little face.
I know nothing! Cage Uzi, is it like a gun?
Like a gun, yeah. I can't promise it's an Uzi, but it looks like a Uzi.
That's fake. There's no way.
No,
I
it
can't
is.
even picture this.
It is. It's Mimicmon.
Mimicmon. It's actually it's based off the caged Digimon figurine toys, and then they made like a cool literally a mimic. Yeah,
he's cool.
It is a mimic. You're right. Yeah. The
cool.
Uzi threw me off though because I don't remember ever seeing that on a Digimon.
He's in a card.
Yeah. But I don't remember the gun. When they put guns on everything, don't they? Digimon? Like, just put a gun on it.
They put a gun on it.
Yeah.
So last one is Ladybird, Solar Panel, Flamethrower.
Just watching Karn's face, just like, that means that is a Digimon. It's just finding out what one it is. Ladybird. I'm rubbish at this, man. This is wrong. I'm rubbish at this. No, you got me. I'm sorry.
It's a fake, so you would.
It is a fake.
Yeah, you would be
I'm
right.
rubbish at this, aren't I? Jesus, if this was some other franchise, I'd be alright at this, I reckon.
But then again, if it was another franchise, I'm sure we'd do something like 20 questions and you get so salty about something that I did once and stop fucking doing it. And go with a different game completely.
Well, that didn't happen.
Anyway,
good job.
Thank you so much, Karn, for coming.
This was
no problem, my pleasure.
This is by far the longest thing that we've ever recorded. I feel so sorry for you.
Good luck with the editing, bud. You got this.
I'm pretty sure I said to you, I was like, it would probably take about an hour.
Oh, yeah, like 2. Yeah, you know what? That was fine.
But it means a lot that you would come on. Everybody go to Karn's channel. All the 12 people that watch us and listen to us, go to Karn's channel.
Subscribe to the Did You Know? I always do that. I like using my plug spot on shit to just plug a friend. Like for years we had this bit. Our friend High C couldn't get to 1,000 subs. So they go like, Karn, what's your channel? I go, oh yeah, my channel, the High C. Thank you very much.
But thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, cheers, man. This was really good.
And if you've made it this far, you are a true Ace Tamer.
Ace Tamer, yeah.
Yeah.
Let us know. Twitter, #AceTamers.
Ace Tamers. Tell us who your favourite Digimon is.
Tell us who your favourite Digimon is.
I'd like to know a niche one,
Yeah.
Just tell us who your favourite one. If you like Kenichi Joji, like Karn here,
Yeah.
You're actually really a really cool
I
dude.
said
Like,
Ken.
honestly,
You
honestly,
said
as a
you
cool
wanted
dude.
Joe, the Joe.
Yeah, Joe is so much more of a loser.
It's true.
Yeah, Ken is cool. He's apart from like the bowl cut.
All that killing he did, and he kicked that dog. He's
That's
pretty
cool, man.
Yeah, Dio did it. It's fine if Ken does
Yeah.
it
But yeah, so thank you very much, and I hope you come in and tune in next time.
See ya.
Bye! I do the
Nice.
bye very loud every single time. Everyone fucking hates it.
too. Peak that, mate.
Thank you for listening to Ace Trainers, a Pokemon podcast. If you'd like to follow us online, we're on Twitter at acetrainerspod. We also have a Facebook page and a YouTube channel, so join us on there.
If you want to speak to either of us, our email is acetrainerspodcast@gmail.com. We hope to hear from you. Our intro music is Last Summer by Ixon, and our outro music is Snowbell City from Pokemon X and Y. See you on the next episode.
Bye! Bye! Bye!